Yes, we have indeed, Gary, but it's a lovely day here in Manchester. The Old Trafford bedecked in red and trembling with noise. Semi-final day. Alan Hansen mentioned the atmosphere. It's colourful, it's cheerful, it's compelling at this stage of the afternoon, and later delight will mix with disappointment. And as though competing head-to-head with Manchester United is not enough in itself, Arsenal are starting to treat Old Trafford like a home from home. Their supporters at the other end of the stadium well aware that it's their third consecutive semi-final here. They're not quite a home team, but on the day they are. They won against Spurs and Middlesbrough in the previous two. They were victorious in the fifth round this season, of course, at Old Trafford, and clinched the league title here last May. And today Arsenal equal Everton's all-time record of 23 FA Cup semi-finals. And if they should beat Sheffield United, the Gunners will reach another landmark. 16 appearances in the final. And that record is held by, yes, Manchester United. But the Arsenal fans inside the stadium will be narrowly outnumbered, I think, by over 30,000 Sheffield United supporters who are waiting to greet their team, about to come out of the tunnel. They don't see this as a formality, the outcome today. And just listen to this. The two mascots, by the way, today. The Sheffield United mascot is 4-year-old Amy Katerina Warnock, the daughter of the manager. And the Arsenal mascot is 11-year-old Jake Missing, a junior gunner. There's Neil Warnock's daughter, 4 years old, and her counterpart is an 11-year-old junior gunner from North London. There he is. What a day for him, Jake Missing. We've already mentioned there's the Sheffield United captain, Robert Page. We've mentioned their two semi-finals in recent years, but the Blades have two significant cup defeats by Arsenal to avenge as well. They lost 1-0 in a Wembley final way back in 1936. And just in case you think I've forgotten, there was that unique fifth-round tie at Highbury 4 years ago, when, and I mean unique, when Arsenal offered and won a replay after defying convention and scoring in the first game, when the ball should have been returned, really, to Sheffield after a stoppage. Well, so much for the history. Now a historic piece of team news to be repeated. As you said in the studio, David Seaman's 1,000th senior game. Another experienced campaigner, Martin Keown, returns to the back four. He told me it was touch and go there for his fitness. Edu starts in preference to fellow Brazilian Gilberto in midfield. Jeffers and Wiltord are paired up front, and Henry and Bergkamp, Trevor Brooking, sit and wait on the bench.
Well, that's been standard this season. Jeffers and Wiltord have linked up very well. They played well, I thought, against Chelsea in the replay. I think they missed Pires. Lundberg just coming back to his best form, and Parler will give them the width, but they do miss Pires. But of course, as Alan said, that strong-looking defence back together.
Yes, they're there, the big three, as Alan Hansen called them. Now then, once they knew that fullbacks John Curtis and Rod Kozler could pass fitness tests, Neil Warnock and his assistant Kevin Blackwell switched the versatile Phil Jagielka to centre-back in place of Sean Murphy. In midfield, Stuart McCall, who's 39 in June, links up with 17-goal Michael Brown and the much-coveted Michael Tong, who certainly put the fear into Liverpool in the Worthington Cup. And in attack, Steve Cabba, stomach upset yesterday, but reported fit this morning. He's going to support the main striker, Wayne Allison, Trevor.
Well, I think the key men for me are the 7 and 18, the two Michaels, Brown and Tongue. They're excellent midfield players. They'll have to play well today. They do score goals from that area. We've got them down as 4-4-2. Wouldn't be surprised if Allison isn't up by himself quite a bit of the time, with Love and Cabba joining from wider positions, but we'll soon pick that one up.
Yes, the officials today, by the way. Graham Pole is the referee, but on the bench, we've mentioned Bergkamp and Henry. Gilberto is there, and for Sheffield United, Peshka Solido, who's good for a goal, and Carla Saba, another experienced striker. And the man in the middle, World Cup referee Graham Pole. He's assisted by Dave Babsky and Phil Sharp. another World Cup official, and the fourth man today is Alan Wiley. Well, the conditions, Trevor, are absolutely superb.
Well, I mean, beautiful sunshine. I looked at the pitch, which has its problems sort of mid-season, but it's excellent now. Going to be a perfect, as you say, condition. I suppose perfect for Arsenal, the way they like to have their pass and move game. But Sheffield United will get in amongst them. Neil Wernick will have them fight up. He looks quite relaxed from his point of view. I don't think they've got anything to lose, John. Let's go out, try and enjoy yourselves, lads, and give them a game.
Yes. Not since Sunderland in 1992 as a team from outside the top division done what Neil Warnock's side are attempting today and reached the FA Cup final. Arsenal are wearing their change strip, even though they're designated the home dressing room. They lost the toss for shirts. They're in gold. Sheffield United, traditional red and white stripes, playing from left to right. And immediately on the ball, Patrick Vieira and Wiltord to Lundberg. Chasing back here for Sheffield United, Unlove and Cabba. And while Trevor looks at the formation, this is Ashley Cole, and it's touched off nicely here to Edu, who scored on this ground in the 5th round with a deflected free kick, and he's overhit that one.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Sheffield United. I mean, as much as I thought they would try and fill up the midfield a bit with a 5. I mean, they have three the back four, as we thought, then Tongue and Brown join in from the centre of midfield with Stuart McColl sort of doing a sit-in job, and then you've got Cabba sort of wide on the right and Nunlove wide on the left. They drop back to make a 5 when they've lost possession, and then two wide men, Nunlove and Cabba, will try and join Wayne Allison. A lot of responsibility on Allison not to keep having the ball come back off the Arsenal defenders.
Kozluk playing left back for Sheffield United, former Derby County player, wearing number 2. This is Edu for Arsenal. There's Kozluk again. Now then, Unlove had a good spell at Coventry earlier in his career, and he's got brought down. Ray Parlour, I think, with the challenge. Parlour playing wide right for Arsenal. Pires is injured, incidentally. He wasn't considered today, hoping to be back for Wednesday, but for the meantime, Allison and Cabba lining up in the centre, and I would think Robert Page will go and join them from the back. He normally does for Sheffield United. And Michael Tongue just outside the box. Allison's the target. Page comes in.
Well, the decent ball in, and to be frank, but Robert Page was very close to getting a header. I don't know whether he could have done better to try and knock it back across the goal, whether he went for the target. You can see this is a long ball. David Seaman does come for it. He doesn't quite get there, goes beyond him, and just if he could have nodded it back across goal, it just beat him the pace of the ball. Slight little bit of an encouragement though for Sheffield United.
There's a very firm header by Curtis, the former Manchester United player, playing at right back for Sheffield United. He's on loan from Blackburn for the rest of the season, John Curtis, but he'll be tested now, I think. It's Wiltord. In the middle, Francis Jeffers being joined by Parlour. And here he comes, Ray Parlour. Goalkeeper Kenny, who's having a good season, picks that one out.
He's having a good season. He's going to have a good match as well, because he is going to be tested. Wiltord just drifting out, clipping that ball, hung it up a bit, but just gave enough opportunity for Kenny to come out and claim it.
Ray Parlour hasn't scored since he put Arsenal ahead in the final last year against Chelsea, but he was nearly on the end of that cross, and there he is again. That's Michael Brown in midfield, highly rated for Sheffield United, number 7. Combines well with the veteran McCall here, who once scored twice in the final, you'll remember. Now Unlove. Allison's going near post. Cabba's making ground. Corner to Sheffield United.
Well, it's a good ball by Stuart McCoy. He's the anchor man. He just spread the play. And if Laurent and Cole have just got caught forward, they will switch it, as they did then to Unlove. And it was Martin Keown using his experience to come and block the cross. Michael
Tongue has gone across to take the corner for Sheffield United. Big Wayne Allison on the near post. Cabba going into the 6-yard box. Michael Brown is there too, and Page. And Jagielka is up here with the header. Good athlete, Jagielka, can play in several positions. His brother figured in the Shrewsbury Cup run earlier in the season.
He joined in that move very late, dropped in from deep, and so it meant he was against Wiltord, who's not the best defender in the lane.
Here's Lundberg. Jeffers has gone ahead of him. There's Brown. Allison, who's had a number of clubs and served them all well. Kozluk. Tong. This is Cabot. Oh, appeals for handball there against Sol Campbell. But it wasn't given, and Wiltord has moved to the right, and Parler tries to make a run inside him. Sheffield United sold their 29,500 tickets very quickly, and in fact were given a further allocation. So keen were their supporters to be here today. Arsenal's went a little more slowly than that, but they had, of course, further to travel. Lundberg to Cole. He's travelling now on the left. Jeffers coming short. Vieira. Edu. And Martin Keown makes a forward run. Blocked off. This is Tong. Brown. And it's Unlöv. Away on the left, Allison in the centre. No foul, says Graham Poll. But Arsenal looked a little uncomfortable there for a moment, and it takes the captain here to sort it out. He's found Edu. Lauren. Jeffers. You hear popping behind us, it's all the balloons going off still around the stadium. It's almost a celebration sort of atmosphere here. This is Parler. I asked Arsene Wenger before the game whether he'd left Henry and Bergkamp out with Wednesday in mind against Manchester United. He refuted that and said, I've picked a team to win a semi-final. We'll see. That was Brown. Now Curtis. And that's a foul by Vieira on Tom.
It's pretty congested in Vieira and Edu having to deal quite often with the three of them. Tongue is down with Brown and McCall, that trio, that time, no question. But I think the good thing from Sheffield United's point of view is most of their players have had a good touch early on. They've sort of competed very well. They've got in and love a couple of times behind Lauren down the left-hand side, and Neil Warnock be quite happy.
Well, Graham Poll gave Tong every opportunity to get up unaided there, but Neil Warnock not only wants him to be treated, he wants to pass a message out to Curtis, I think. Already the tactics. You've got two contrasting managers here. No nonsense Neil. Gives it all he's got. 9 clubs as a player, 10 as a manager. Remember him getting to the quarter-final with Notts County once back in '91. I think Gary Lineker may have played in that game, because Tottenham went on to win the cup. And Arsene, the academic, 2 FA Cups, 3 finals, 5 semis. How many doubles is he going to win? Anyway, Michael Tong, Unlöv and everybody else now resuming their positions. Tong will have to come off to go back on, I would imagine. And he's getting an earful from Neil Warnock as well, and encouragement.
Hope he's not concussed, otherwise he won't be in the condition to receive what advice he was getting, but he's an important player for them.
Lundbergh has had to track back here just to cover Curtis. Sheffield United will know that Arsenal nearly always score. In fact, they've scored in 69 of their last 71 Premiership matches, so it would be a major achievement if the Blades keep the Gunners out today. But the Sheffield players, although they weren't allowed to train on the pitch, did have a good look round on Thursday, and they used Manchester United's training facilities. Keown won't be taking too many chances. Really wasn't sure right up to yesterday when he trained properly for the first time that he would be playing today. Now Jeffers is the target here. Page got the header in. Back in again from Edu. And a second time, Parler. Oh, good battling by Tong and then by Kozluk. Now Unlove. But that's the problem, isn't it, Trevor? If they knock it forward too early and too long, Allison won't get on the end of it.
Well, he's not the quickest. I mean, Allison very much a target man, centre forward, and that's why you've got to have Unlove and Cabba with their pace, just given that option down the touchlines, really. But that was they certainly pressurised Arsenal well, and certainly Ray Parlour thought he'd had a foul against him, but Kozluk did well.
Steve Bruce was the manager of Sheffield United when they last met in the FA Cup in that rather peculiar circumstance at Highbury. Arsenal were 2-1 winners in the replay, which was also at Highbury. Now here's Parlour getting away from Kozluk. Stuart McCall playing fairly deep. Parlour carries on. Jeffers offside.
Yeah, they held the line well. John Curtis was the key man, the right back. He held the line as Jeffers just crept a yard or so off. Here it is, just as the ball's played through. You can see his arm up this side. He can read it. He held the line well.
Francis Jeffers, who scored against Chelsea in the 6th round and recently equalled the England under-21 scoring record. Shared with Shearer now. And that's a free kick to Arsenal. Edu was the man who went down.
It was the arm of Michael Brown. He has had his disciplinary problems in the past. He seems to have steadied down a bit more this season and sort of been influential for his play.
Well, 17 goals from midfield is a great output at any level, and in the nationwide Division 1 it's a good reason why Sheffield United are... Here's Parlour putting it through to Jeffers. Oh, and, well, cover, fortunately, for Jagielka by Curtis. Sheffield United heading the race for the playoffs, but the opposition today is of a very different type to that which they expect to meet. They did play Liverpool, of course, twice in the Worthington semi-final. Change of boots here for Freddie Lundberg. Out of the action at the moment. This is Campbell. Wiltord handball. He's Arsenal's lucky mascot in the FA Cup, Sylvain Wiltord. 10 goals in 18 ties. And a scorer of 2 very big goals here, of course, against Manchester United. And Lundberg now is being waved back on. Cole made to turn. Edu, good ball, Wiltord. Now again Martin Keown prepared to cross the halfway line, but Wiltord goes further on, looks for Parlour. Allison. It's come off the head of Jagielka. Foul by Allison. But he may be very competitive, Allison, but he's a very fair-minded player. He's in fact nicknamed the Chief, and he holds a sports science degree from Huddersfield University when he played there. Really has done the rounds. I remember him playing for Halifax in the Cup years ago. Campbell. As yet, the nationwide team doing really well, and Michael Brown won't get away with that. It's hands. Bit of a push between Brown and Keown. Neither of those is going to back out of a challenge. Throw to Arsenal, is it? Yes, well, Graham Pole signalled. Wiltord thought the other players were a bit slow joining him. As a result of which, Sheffield United covered their tracks. Throw in again down here. Coming up to the 15-minute mark in the first FA Cup semi-final. Jeffers makes a run across the penalty area. And he's penalised.
Yeah, a bit of shirt tugging, but as you can see, just as he tries to go around the outside of him. Oh, a bit more on a tug, wouldn't it?
Well, goalkeeper Paddy Kenny will take this kick wide of his 18-yard area, ever present this season. In fact, Neil Warnock's done something he doesn't normally do today. He's got a goalkeeper on the bench. They normally don't bother Sheffield United, but experienced Gary Kelly, brother of a former Sheffield goalkeeper Allen, is standing by in case. That's all a bit untidy. Allison goes down and Sheffield United get the free kick, which will bring Page forward. A lot depends on him really from set plays today, because Murphy being left out of the side leaves them one short really in height there. Michael Brown has gone across to help. Tongue will take it. And Jagielka has gone up now. But it's overhit for all of them. In fact, Page caught it behind the line.
Well, it's definitely a free kick that they're trying to work on, knocking the deep one. That one was badly overhit. If you remember the first one early on, nearly found Page in the same spot, so perhaps they have to vary it after two efforts of that.
Since losing to Leicester in January 2000, Arsenal have lost just one FA Cup tie in 18. And that was the final to Liverpool 2 years ago, when they, in all honesty, should have won. Well, they think so anyway. Not Michael Owen. Here's Vieira. Lundberg lets it run. And that's Cabba fouling Lundberg. Interesting season Cabba's had too. We're telling you a bit more about the Sheffield players because clearly for some viewers they're nowhere near as well known as Arsenal. Cabba started the season with Crystal Palace, went on loan to Grimsby and has now been signed by the Blades. Here's Wiltord for Arsenal. Lundberg in support, Jeffers further over, near post now, Francis Jeffers. Oh, it's hooked away by Jagielka. And a real tussle going on between Allison and Campbell, and it's a free kick to Sheffield United.
Well, that's exactly what Allison's got to do. I thought he did very well with Campbell's body strength there. This is the move, to get into the byline. Nearly finds Jeffers, a ricochet off Page, and Jagielka just whacks it clear. It ends up, as I say, near Allison, and he does well because he's up there by himself and he's won them a free kick.
Right, well, he'll be a target again here, possibly. Warnock is making more signals. Kevin Blackwell, the assistant manager, has come out as well, telling Jagielka where to put it. Forward towards Allison, Cabba closing in. This is Brown. Come to Cabba, is he offside? No flag. Arsenal was static for a moment there. Vieira, Edu, free kick.
Yeah, just gave him a little tug, but at the other end, sometimes Michael Brown hits a great shot. This time he bobbled it, and it nearly threaded its way through, ideally for Cabba. He just couldn't control it with his first touch, but flag didn't go up, so he was onside with a better first touch.
It's a free kick to Arsenal in the centre circle, foul by Tong, who was spoken to by Graham Pole in passing. Here's Wiltord. Edu. Lundberg tries to get in. Good challenge again by Jagielka. The goal to our left. Behind that, there's an absolute sea of red and white striped replica shirts. The goal that Sheffield are defending at the moment to Vieira. Keown. Alisson's got support from Unlove. It took two to beat him. Parler chased back. Now Lauren goes on the overlap. Jeffers. Well, they're really hunting him down in midfield, Sheffield United. Bodies all round him, but foul by Page. In the back.
They're going to need a bit of treatment, Jeffers. But as you say, they've certainly given them any space. I mean, Unlove and Cabra have done well. They're marking the fullbacks. There's the shirt tug. Not actually being picked up by now, but then the whistle went. But I think, you know, the attacking outlet, obviously Allison has to get people joining. Unlove and Cabra are the two, but they're quite involved stopping Cole and Lauren getting forward at the moment. So it's working the five in the midfield, but it's leaving them a little bit short in the ability to join and create chances.
David Seaman's come out of goal to have quite a long chat with Campbell and Vieira. So there's something being discussed over there about Arsenal's tactics. He's going back now. Gary Lewin with quite a long session of treatment here for Jeffers. Who doesn't look too comfortable going off on the far side. Mind you, they do have Henry and Bergkamp just in case. Here's Vieira. Edu. Campbell. Curtis with a solid header. This is Tong, now McCall. They're trying to get Cabra away on this side against Ashley Cole. Here he is again. Curtis in support. Tries to get it in early towards Allison. But on the break for Arsenal, Ray Parler, and Jeffers has come back on. He's on the far side. It was cut out by Rob Kozluk, and he's found Brown. Edu concedes possession. McCall looks for Unlove. Up against Lauren, who slips. Can Unlove get the cross in? He's got support nearer to him than that from Brown.
Was a better little spell from Sheffield United. First they got Cabra down the right-hand side, and then again Unlove down that left. The kids can't quite get the quality cross in at the moment, but that's what they're trying to get, probing down the flanks and getting behind both fullbacks.
Well, you have to say, with halfway through the first half, their game plan's okay. Here's Allison up. Certainly containing the double winners so far, but for how long? Vieira. And to his left is Wiltord coming in on this side.
That was Arsenal counter-attack. Just see Sheffield United talking about it, those three centre midfielders, McCall, Brown and Tong. Just got caught out for once, but just the final ball just ran its way through to Kenny.
Here's Lundberg to Wiltord. Again, good hustling by Sheffield United. Tong. Parler to Jeffers. Kozluk is the defender. When Love is tracked back to help. Parler. Lauren. Jeffers spins away. This is Vieira. To Cole. Patient period of play by Arsenal. Here's Keown coming forward. Tong to Brown. David Seaman missed 5 matches with the hamstring injury. Stuart Taylor back on the bench today. Now Lundberg. Wiltord's gone to his left. Here's Vieira. Again. Brown was in so quickly. This is Cabba. Won back by Edu for Wiltord. And it's Lundberg. Wiltord and Jeffers in the middle, fouled by Stuart McCall, yellow card.
Well, I think you had to show the yellow card there. Stuart McCall accepts it. I mean, Lundberg did terrific there. Chase back, rode past one challenge, skipped by Tom, and then as McCall came in, he was away in a dangerous position. Had to be the yellow card.
Edu, who had a free kick deflected by Beckham's shoulder for a goal here in the 5th round, is about to take this one. Sol Campbell has come up from the back. Martin Keown is there as well. Vieira, who scored in a semi-final here, he's in the thick of it. And as Sheffield move out, Campbell, flag, offside.
Well, they're great when they work, those. It's a bit of a gamble. Everyone's got to move out at the right time. There's a shout, comfortably offside by now. I mean, Edu, having got caught out once, now will make sure as he's taking the kick, he has a little look up just beforehand, so he could have stopped and waited everyone to readjust.
Well, 25 minutes and the Nationwide club very much in the game. This is Cabba. Allison and Unlover in the penalty area. Cole is the defender, and that's a goal kick.
Cabba just trying to turn Cole, but he and Unlover occupied Lauren and Cole, with stopping them getting forward, which means really the two wide men further forward, Parler and Lundberg, if they get possession and they counter-attack quickly, they're probably the ones that will find the space, because the two fullbacks should try and tuck in and give a solid back four. So Lundberg and Parler at some stage might be the two that just might get a little bit of space that could create a chance for Arsenal.
This is Lundberg. Wiltord. But again, Sheffield United group around the Arsenal player on the ball. And the man about to receive it. They're very organised, good shape. They've worked hard on this. And they're making Arsenal work extra hard. Free kick. Edu was the man fouled. Parler takes it quickly. Didn't hang around there. Wiltord. Lauren up on the far side. Sylvain Wiltord trying to thread it through to Jeffers. And Kozluk was waiting for Kenny, and while he waited, Lundberg nipped in. Lauren. Parler. Lauren comes forward again. Lundberg. 4 in the middle for Arsenal. Comes off Jagielka.
It was unlucky. There were good hard work by Sheffield United to try and close Arsenal down, but there were 2 good crossing opportunities that I must say Arsenal wasted.
Game being played at a fair old pace. This is Edu again, but he he waited too long. There's no time to dwell on the ball here. Michael Brown. Allison going left to right. Cabba going to the right. Trying to... he bumps into Ashley Cole, but still gets the ball. Brown is still in support here. Allison's got his arm up far side. He's coming in now, Wayne Allison. And Lauren had to do something, and he got a touch.
Well, that's the first time Michael Brown's had a bit of space. He was very patient in the build-up, and this was a quality cross that Arsenal didn't produce up the other end on a couple of occasions. That was a terrible one for Lauren to deal with. Could easily have got a ricochet off Allison, but he just nods it away for the corner.
Brown has gone across to take the corner. Page is forward again. Tong is on the edge of the penalty area. And Cabba on the goal line. Jagielka by the penalty spot. That's the lineup. David Seaman coming to punch through the crowd. Hooked back in there by Kozluk, out by Keown, then Cole. Sensible play by Tong. Foul. Well, that's Graham Poll coming across again with a yellow card. Ashley Cole impetuous on Steve Cabot.
Well, that was very petulant. I mean, got no chance of getting the ball, chests it down well. Cabot, he gives it, might ruffle his hair, but look, he's shielded it well. There's no way through from there. It just takes that right standing leg down. It's an automatic yellow card.
Brown to take the free kick. Quickly to Cabot. Cole will cover this one though, and Seaman untroubled. Coming up to the half-hour mark, Trevor, what's your summing up?
Well, the summing up is it's pretty, you know, scrappy, stifled Arsenal, and that's from the game plan from Sheffield United's point of view, exactly, I'm sure, what Neil Warnock was wanting to do. If the game's not attractive to watch, that means that they're doing their job, and at present, we've hardly had a clear-cut chance.
Indeed, but as you say, they're stifling the double winners. And Parler and company can't find a way through at the moment. Jeffers and Wiltord are bottled up there at the front of the team. Might need a midfield player to break the Sheffield United resistance. Here's McCall. Lundberg. They really are attuned to chasing and harrying Warnock's team. There's another example from Cabot. Brown. Cabot will go again. Cross comes Campbell. Wonderful support as well for Sheffield United.
One or two of them just blowing after having worked so hard to get the ball. That was it. Then Cabot had to make a run into the corner. Can they keep it up for the whole 90 minutes or longer? We'll have to see, but they've done very well up to now.
Allison up on the near post, wants to get the flick on. It's come back out to Curtis for another throw. And again he's aimed at Allison. This one he has got, and Cabot. Oh, and Unlove was coming in on the 6-yard line. Now Jagielka collides with Vieira. Look at Jeffers here in space. Wiltord to his left, too late.
Well, he's too late because Kozluk made a terrific 10 or 15-yard sprint and swept him with the tackle, and as soon as they dwell on it at the moment, Arsenal, somebody is there snapping at the heels.
Well, that was certainly a case of Kozluk, who is very much the dressing room joker at Bramall Lane. Very serious about that interception. Here's Vieira. Well, it was Vieira. In fact, Brown got it away. And then Unlove to Allison. Cabot's off again down this side. Well, they're occupying Arsenal all over the pitch at the moment. Cabot. Curtis with the throw. Cabot, was that ball out? Well, the assistant referee on this side says no, but it will be now. And Phil Sharp had a good view of that. Now, one man watching this semi-final with particular interest is the manager of Manchester United. In view of the collision of the heavyweights at Highbury on Wednesday night, made even more appetising, I guess, by yesterday's exceptional result for Ferguson's team at Newcastle. Arsene Wenger, meantime, concentrates first on the cup and then on the league, as they did last year. This is Brown. Bit of a wrestling match there. Campbell and Allison. Graham Poll says carry on. Allison is down. Here's Wiltord. Oh, and now Graham Poll collides with Tom.
That's a booking for Graham Poll, isn't it, that?
But Allison, more seriously, is on the ground in the other half. That's what all the hooting's about. Edu. Lundberg looking for Jeffers. And Jeffers has got to pull the ball back. Wiltord off the post. Wiltord again. Lundberg. And Arsenal have scored. Freddie Lundberg. And there'll be a right old row now, because Wayne Allison was on the ground for about a minute and a half, and Page, the captain, has gone to complain to Graham Poll while you watch the replay. Francis Jeffers down by the line It was Wiltord against the post. It was nearly Wiltord again. And then Freddie Thornburgh appeared. And when the deflection came his way, well, Arsenal have taken the lead in the semi-final, Trevor, with 34 minutes gone. But what about the injured player?
Well, first of all, great credit here to Wiltord. He had the first shot and he followed it across as it hit the post. Otherwise, he'd have never picked up the rebound. Look, then he follows it across, comes back out, he wins it again, and then, all right, gets a lucky ricochet to Thornburgh. So Wiltord did brilliantly, I thought, there, to get on the end off the post. But you've got to say, Allison was down, and then you had that embarrassing collision where actually Graham Poll blocked Tongue making a challenge, and the attack then built from there, and in the end it's ended up with the goal. So there's two frustrations. First of all, Allison was injured, then the fact that the referee made a quite telling interception which allowed the Arsenal attack to build up and then played Jeffers through.
We had a real Barney 4 years ago in the FA Cup when Arsenal got a goal that really was against the convention of returning the ball. Today we've got a goal where Sheffield United have got two grounds for complaint. Wayne Allison was nowhere in the game. He'd been down for some time. The play wasn't stopped. But as you say, Graham Poll inadvertently blocked Michael Tongue and allowed Arsenal's attack to build up. So Thornburgh, who scored in the final, in fact he scored in the last two finals, has put Arsenal in front. And what a debate there's going to be about that, especially if you're from Sheffield.
Well, you're going to have to pick it right up from the initial collision. That's the one down there. It doesn't look a lot at the stage, so you could have, I think, let the play go because he doesn't look that badly injured. Then you had, look, Tongue would have made that interception. There's no question he'd have intercepted that ball, and it enabled Arsenal to keep it. And from then on, they're in trouble and they concede a goal. I mean, I would like to get Neil Warnock's comments, although you might have to do it after the 9 o'clock watershed. Well,
actually, Warnock and the fourth official, Alan Riley, have already had one row this season at Liverpool. I wonder what's being said down there at the moment. I don't know what happened, what Graham Poll was trying to do there, get out of the way maybe, and just block Tongue, and Warnock has got reason here to feel aggrieved. Nothing against Arsenal, they developed the attack well, and as you said, credit to Wiltord, and Thornburgh, who's just come back after quite a long injury spell, is on the mark again.
Yeah, he scored last week at Aston Villa as well. Once he scores goals, he starts to get into a spell, and he's back on his favoured side, funnily enough, John. He's a right-footed player, but he much prefers playing on the left-hand side of midfield. Perez, usually plays there, and he plays then when he first come back on the right. I don't think he's as effective on the right as he is on this left-hand side.
Well, luck counts in football, and Lauren is coming in from the right-hand side. Arsenal, I believe, a bit fortunate in the semi here last year, wasn't it? An own goal that beat Middlesbrough, and the year before against Tottenham, Campbell, who was then playing for Spurs, was carried off. So fortune favours them again here today. And just when Sheffield United appeared to have got the measure of Arsenal to a great extent.
I think the problem, when you have a game plan like you've done, let's stifle Arsenal, make it difficult for them to play. Once they go ahead, the problem is, well, when do you change the game plan? Because it's to stop Arsenal playing, which they did very well. Now they've conceded a goal, a bit unluckily, and at some stage they're going to have to be a bit bolder, and of course then they become much more vulnerable to the counter-attack of Arsenal.
I think we'll keep an eye on Graham Poll at half-time as he goes off, because I have a feeling that Warnock might have a view. Never short of a few words, the Sheffield manager. This is Cole, McCall, and now Brown. Here's Cabot. Goal kick. Well, what do we make of the referee's contribution?
Well, I mean, the pass of going astray, there's no question Michael Tongue would have got the ball. All right, a lot happens after that, but with the player on the down, could you have used that as an excuse to stop play and then have a bounce ball even if he wanted later? But look, this happens. Jeffers does well, gets a little bit of lucky bounce. Remember, McCall's been booked, so he didn't want to challenge there, perhaps give a penalty. Wiltord does brilliantly to follow up. Lots of strikers would have stood and watched it hit the post and thought how unlucky I was, but he was already thinking of getting the rebound.
Now it's happening again. Sheffield have a player on the ground. Now this time Poll has stopped the game. This time he stopped the game.
He's just explaining.
It's Stuart McCall, is
Yeah,
it?
look, yeah, look at Robert Page. He's coming across there. He's a skipper, and he says, "Well, why didn't you stop it last time?" And that is going to be the debate, isn't it?
Well, I think Page is entitled to query it. He is the captain. And the other players, well, the one or two are joining now, but
you can't turn the clock back. I mean, Graham Poll knows he's been involved in a mishap, but you can't change it now. And whatever happens, it's going to be a discussion point. He's smiling to Ray Parlour, but he's not smiling to a Sheffield United player.
Well, it's unusual. Often you see a goal scored and you say, well, there's grounds for complaint, but two reasons really why Sheffield United will feel aggrieved. I don't want to bang on about this any longer, but it will be the key issue of the first half, unless something extraordinary happens.
Well, they're still chattering away there. 4 or 5 Sheffield United players still arguing. Well, you've stopped it there, but it's gone now. But it is going to be a very controversial issue, I must say. But Stuart McCall limping a little bit. Is the anchor man? They won't want him to go off.
Well, now then, Patrick Vieira is down, receiving attention. And still the Sheffield players are talking to Graham Poll. Now Michael Tonner was the player concerned. He's complained, and now the referee is going across, I think, to talk to his linesman on the far side.
I've got a feeling that's where the bounce-up's going to be, John. Yeah, and I think he's just taking it right over there, but just probably getting away from the Sheffield United players as well.
I think he used it as an excuse to check where the play had stopped. But anyway, attention, 2 players are off the pitch at the moment. And that's what should have happened 4 years ago. Give the ball back to Sheffield. There's 2 players come back on. McCall and Vieira have both received attention. The official attendance, by the way, is under 60,000. It's 59,170. So I fancy that's because a lot of Arsenal ticket holders did not come, or potential ticket holders. David Seaman having to be called into action there. This is because, I think, to do with travel, Trevor, and the difficulties of trains and things like that. And one has to say that the wisdom of playing at a London club playing at Manchester is open to debate. Yeah,
and it's a lunchtime kick-off. It's a long haul up. The trains are terrible, so most people are going to have to go up the M1, M6, and it's definitely in the Arsenal end where there's a few spare seats.
Perhaps they'll find a way of redesigning a London ground so that they can have the right number of fans in the segregation. It seems to me an excuse that could be eliminated. Here's Lundberg. And Edu. Jeff is waiting in the box. He's just coming in behind Jagielka there, but Kozluk was in attendance. Oh, Wiltord's won it from McCall, and McCall has brought him down. Now McCall is on a yellow card. And I don't want Graham Poll to add to controversy here. I don't think he will, but what he has done is given Arsenal... Oh, Keown's come up to the referee and pointed, and McCall has come to face up.
No, that's out of order.
That's out of order. I've got a feeling here, without being able to hear the conversation, that Keown may have said he's already been booked referee. McCall rushed back as though that had been said or inferred, and now the referee is talking to Keown.
Yeah, with his experience, he doesn't have to get involved. It wasn't a yellow card offence anyway. He gave it away, McCall. He then made the challenge on Wiltord. It was a foul, but it wasn't a yellow card offence. So, why get involved? Let's see if he's concentrating on trying to get a second goal instead of trying to get a player sent off.
Well, here, first of all, the wall being brought further back, and Edu, left foot from here, I would have thought, Trevor.
Well, he does. I mean, Henry would be relishing it on the bench, but it does seem to be him, yes.
Edu for Arsenal. Well, his expression suggests it was close. We'll see in a minute how close it was from behind the goal.
I think the wall covers the other side, as you can see. He's tempting the keeper to go behind the wall, but Kenny didn't go, and it was wide anyway, so the rueful smile was a bit optimistic, to be frank.
Didn't have David Beckham standing there to inadvertently send it into the net. Well, I think they've got a fair amount to talk about at half-time, if not about scoring chances, because there haven't been any or many. But that period of play, well, wonder what you think at home, because there'll be a lot of different opinions, I'm sure, as to whether the game should have been stopped once, twice, or not at all. Anyway, it's Campbell just covering there. fact of the matter is Arsenal are leading by 1-0 in the FA Cup semi-final. The score of Freddie Ljungberg, who last May equalled the 40-year-old record of Bobby Smith by scoring in consecutive finals. Goodness, he could go and score in a third if the score stays like this. Here's Vieira. 3 to his right, but 1 to his left was the ball. Wiltord, and Paddy Kenny comes all the way.
Well, he needed to as well. Terrific play by Vieira. A little spin, looped it over the top. Wiltord, as he does so well, when he plays through the middle, he does pick up good spots, got good pace, and Kenny, he needed to come out there.
Well, Campbell covering some ground behind Cole, but it'll run out.
Yeah, Allison's not going to hurt you turning him round, and Campbell's got good pace as well as his body strength. You know, Allison really is one to knock it into his feet and hope somebody joins. Just knocked them back a little bit, I think, Sheffield United. They're kept to the same shape. They're still playing the same way, but of course, as the game progresses into the second half, they are going to have to gamble more and take a chance on throwing extra men forward, particularly if they're going to try and break down this the strongest Arsenal defence, because they're all together again, their first choice defence today.
3 minutes of stoppage time, if I read the board correctly, in the sunshine. And Ashley Cole there, acrobatic. This is Brown for Sheffield United. Unlove's a bit close to him there. He hasn't got much else on, to be honest. But he did ever so well and played it back to Page. Kozluk. Oh, the flick on was by Allison to Cabba. And they've got Unlove in the middle as well here now. Keown's chasing Cabba. Edu is there to block the cross.
Yeah, a bit of a shame. Cabba got on the end of Allison's header. Probably, to be fair to him, he could have got in an early cross, but nobody was in there, so he's held it up, and then he got closed down and couldn't again really put anything that was going to worry the Arsenal defence.
Now that was well taken down by Wayne Allison. He's found Curtis. And Love. Good skill. Cabba's in the penalty area, but it's gone straight into the goalkeeper's arms, and the throw out will send Ray Parlour away in the closing stages of the first half at Old Trafford. Sheffield United have acquitted themselves well, but as Lauren loses the plot there, they have a chance perhaps of one more attack. This is Tom. And Lerbu's moved from left to right for this last few minutes. Curtis. Allison to Cabba. Brown. McCall. Hasn't been able to get forward very much from that anchor position.
No, with Brown and Tongue, the main creative problems normally for Sheffield United have been too deep. I haven't seen either of them in the Arsenal penalty area as such.
No, not so far. Flags up for offside here. Referee checks his watch, and I think he's the man they'll be looking at as they go off at half-time and maybe talking to. No complaints from the Arsenal contingent, but those from the Nationwide League Club will feel a little hard done by, I think. And I think you can tell from the reaction, Graham Poll backing right off. And Sheffield United, who by and large are pretty well behaved when it comes to this kind of thing. They've gone trotting straight off to the dressing room. Well, Page has led them off, and I don't think there's going to be much of a protest here, publicly anyway, unless, well, there's a lot of booing from the Sheffield United supporters at that end. I'm just looking to see if I can find out what... Well, Warnock has put his hand to his ear, as if to say, can you hear them, referee? And as Graham Poll walks towards him, I'm just waiting to see if Warnock speaks to him as they go off in the corner. Yes, he's making gestures, Neil Warnock. He's encouraging the Sheffield supporters to continue the barracking. And as he goes to the tunnel, he points at Graham Poll. And the security people there making sure that's all it is. Well, 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 what are they going to make of this in the studio? All I can say, Gary, is it's Arsenal 1, Sheffield United 0.
Not according to the Sheffield United fans, John. It's the referee won Arsenal 0. That's what they were singing.
Well, I mean, Sheffield United have played with tremendous courage and heart, and for 35 minutes they're great, because if you limit Arsenal to pot shots from 25 yards and your keeper basically hasn't had a save to make, then you've done something right. And they stifled the play, the tactics were good, they worked incredibly hard, they had one good effort themselves, and they look pretty comfortable. The dilemma now is at some stage they're going to have to open up, and as I've said, they've worked incredibly hard and they will get tired. I mean, tremendous controversy about the goal. There was a huge debate. Did Campbell foul Alisson? There's no debate about the referee. He definitely fouled Tong in the middle of the park. There was definitely a foul there. And then I thought Sheffield United after that were a bit unlucky. There are a couple of blocks that could have gone anywhere, and then Lundberg puts it in the back of the net. But you know, you have to say Sheffield United have done
controversy seems to follow this fixture. It was 99, wasn't it, with the throw-in from Kanu when Overmars scored, and the game was replayed. They're not going to replay this one, but I think we should have a look at it. I mean, right from the first foul, which eventually leads to the goal, of course.
Well, Sol Campbell initially he gets up pretty well, and he heads it down.
And then the ball is played forward now, and that for me is a foul. I mean, that's a foul. And
the referee's in a great spot. He's way play on. This is. Tong's going to pick that up. Graham Paul bumps into him.
The thing is, at this point as well, Alisson's line injured.
I think the referee should get out of the way. He should get out of the way. He can see the play. The ball's played 15 yards, 10, 15 yards. He's got plenty of time to get out of the way, and he should never be in there.
Although a referee,
and then we thought it was offside
against himself.
Yeah, exactly. He should have done that. And then
the bodies are going flying everywhere there, and they're a bit unlucky, but Lundberg hits to the back of it.
Well, he kicks him and shoves him.
That's a foul, that, and it should have been given.
And then again,
and then you see how long
the referee doesn't give the foul.
No, but see how far the ball travels. Yeah. This is my point here. He should have gone out of the way there. He should have seen the game and stopped. He's running straight into the player. And then
you can understand why everybody's incensed, because I mean, as I said, they played so well for 35 minutes, and to lose a goal like this, where you think your centre forward's been fouled, and then the referee blocks the midfield player. And again, as I say, they're very unlucky here, because when it comes back off the post, I think it goes through Page's legs. Rolter does well. Page blocks it, and it just comes straight to Lundberg, who.
And he gets into that position as a goal.
You can bet your life it's going to be a goal.
I actually thought Arsenal had the chance to put the ball out of play, and they should have done that earlier on. And that's probably
you're going back to 99.
That's what all the controversy is going to be about from this goal.
Because
I think they had plenty of time. They seen the Sheffield United player was down, and the referee might have even stopped the game. But certainly, I thought with the time passed from the foul committed to the goal, they had plenty of time to think about that.
I never realised you're an out-and-out purist. I don't think there'd be many teams would kick out there, to be fair. Alisson's down, but you can never say the injury was serious.
You saw about 5 minutes later, similar situation, and the ball's passed 2 or 3 times, and the referee stopped the game. Why didn't you do that in the first one? I think he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed about what happened.
He never stopped the match because where Campbell's fouled Alisson, the referee is right there, and he thinks that Alisson's gone down without any.
Thinks he's faking it.
Yeah, well, maybe not faking it, but he thinks he's gone down too easily. And you can, if you actually go back to the pictures, you can see, right, wave play on you go, get on with it. The second bit is the most controversial, as much as that Tong is going to pick that ball up in the middle of the park easily. The referee, for some reason, has come across towards the play and bumped into him. Now, like you say, the referee can't stop it there. Again, it's a terrible way to lose a goal.
Yep.
So what do you do now? I mean, they've shown unbelievable heart.
They've got to do what they did in the first half of the game, isn't it? And they've worked their socks off, haven't they?
I think they've deserved to come in at 0-0.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot in it. I don't think Arsenal played well. I don't think that Sheffield United really created anything. But I thought they were stressing them. They were putting pressure on Arsenal, and they were working really hard. But they weren't threatening Arsenal in any way. But Arsenal, on the other hand, wasn't threatening Sheffield United.
Always difficult to play that way for 90 minutes. Of Arsenal's quality, but what we see here is that Sheffield United have got men behind the ball. They've closed down, they've tackled, and when they've eventually brought, it's a great ball into the box.
But what you can see from this picture as well, they're not committing people forward. They're wanting to defend.
They've got 3 there.
Yeah,
it's a great ball in.
What a ball!
Mann does really well to get that away.
Run, love.
But right from the word go, what they did was they just closed down quickly. And as we said, they denied
This is tremendous
Arsenal
ball.
time and space. That's a great ball and so difficult to defend against. He does extremely well.
It's very well defended.
Closed down all over the pitch, didn't they?
Right from the word go, men behind the ball, close down quickly, don't give the opposition time and space to play, don't let them get in any sort of rhythm, and you'll reap the benefits. And that's what they did. Because as we've said for 35 minutes, there was not a lot in the match. And also, there was once or twice, when they did pick it up and play, Sheffield United played all right. McCall had a couple of decent passes in the middle of the pitch. This is one of them.
And this fella, he's been very quiet, but this...
But everyone's been willing to work, that's what they're...
They've been willing to work, and we've cited the fact that the Sheffield United goalkeeper didn't have a lot to do, but in all fairness, neither did David Seaman. But that's what Sheffield United would want. They're coming in here as massive underdogs. You're playing against one of the best sides in the country. You're in a lower division. That's the only way to play. You play well, and then you make them play
to get
badly.
Something on a break somewhere, maybe a set piece.
I mean, Arsenal are dangerous on the break, but even on this occasion, they got back and got attacked.
Exactly. Well, they've got men run beside the ball again, and they've closed down and put their foot in, and they have done exceptionally well. But we've cited the fact that if you play like that for 45 minutes, it's so difficult to play the same way for another 45 minutes, especially if Arsenal get it done and play and and start moving and passing. And also,
I don't think it'll gain them anything to play like that
for
the second half, because they have to come out now. They have to come out and find a goal. If they don't, they're out. And I don't think, Arsenal would be quite happy just to sit there, keep the ball, let them run, and let them run completely out of steam.
Arsenal have been below par, but one player that always seems to perform is Patrick Vieira.
He always stands it. He's always got something, whether it's tackling, whether it's running, or whether it's basically passing. And I actually think in the last couple of years he's become a better passer, better user of the ball. He gets it here, shows tremendous strength and resilience, and outside the right foot, just plays in it nice and easy to do.
Yeah, he never plays a difficult pass.
Yeah.
He's not embarrassed to pass the ball 2 or 3 yards. I think he recognises the importance of having the ball, of moving the ball around, and he's doing that really, really well. So was that.
It's just simple, straightforward into feet, but it's actually perfection. And again, I honestly think since he's calmed down a lot on the pitch that his passes have become better, and then you've got the strength and the aggression and the capacity to run as well. Flies past McCall there.
And the trouble is he tries difficult passes too often, Peter.
He thinks he's passing to Henry.
Yeah. But his overall game is to sit there, soak up all the pressure, and when he gets the ball, he passes the ball very quickly, and most of the time very simple. Yeah. And that is the best way for that position to play.
You know what? A good man to have on your side.
Yeah, great man. What about Stuart McCall on the other side, Peter?
Well, he's 38. I think exactly. You think he's 38, and the way that he gets about the pitch, and we know Stuart McCall has always had, he's a brave heart. He's a fighter, and for 38 to play a half like he's done this half with all the energy, because he's controlling all the pressure.
39 in June.
39 in June. That was a great pass here. The only problem he's got, as you'd expect from somebody at 39 in June, he can't run. What he does here,
he lacks a bit of pace.
Run. He comes here, he intercepts that. If you isolate him, this is where he's got the problem. It's Thornburgh here, isolates McCall, he goes diving in there, and that's where he got booked.
He's not going to run with him, is he?
He needs men run about him and just sit there and play.
But with his experience, he's actually the one who's orchestrating the whole pressure that they're putting on Arsenal, and he's doing that fantastically well.
Okay, second half coming up. But now, as Motti mentioned earlier, Arsenal and Sheffield United did actually meet in the 1936 FA Cup final. Well, we've been looking in the archives, and the coverage makes quite interesting viewing.
Cup final day in 1936 brought the usual host of enthusiasts into London by road, rail and air. They've all come up to see the cup final. Arsenal arrived from Brighton and went to Wembley by coach. Sheffield left their hotel near London. For this year, as you've heard, the FA will not allow the newsreels inside. I don't know what it feels like to be on the FA, but on the newsreels we feel like love locked out. But it's no good trying to get inside. The officials are too... Stop that man, he's got a camera. Ball. Thanks for trying, Sydney. Now the game is about to commence. From our fleet of planes and autogyros you can almost hear the band. Not quite. Arsenal have won the toss and decided to kick against the wind. The direction of the wind depends on which way our planes are going. Both goals were in peril in the early stages of the game. Arsenal attacking through Bastin, James and Hume. You can easily pick out James, he's the tall one in shorts. Arsenal did most of the attacking in the second half and kept on pressing the Sheffield defence without getting that all-important goal. But in the end, Bastin gave the ball to Drake and Drake scored. Arsenal 1, Sheffield 0. If you didn't see it, it's because you're not air-minded. Well played, Arsenal, with congratulations to George Allison and the winning goal scorer Drake.
So, what do you make of that, Hanson?
It was spiffing, spiffing. Great commentary from John Motson. What happened to Trevor? Never heard a lot from Trevor, though.
There was a lovely bit I noticed in that I've picked out that you might see where
I think this is taking
Sheffield,
team spirit to the limit, by the way.
I think he's nicking his wallet.
He's in his pocket.
What's going on there? We'd have a look at that. But I mean, let's talk about a few trials that we've got coming up. Lots of the other FA Cup semi-final between Southampton and Watford kicks off later this afternoon, and we'll have highlights on BBC One tonight at 11 o'clock. And there's plenty of other top quality sport to watch as well, including another chance to see Paula Radcliffe's world record in the London Marathon. That's 6:40 on BBC Two. And then there's the Masters Live from Augusta. I've booked my place on the sofa. Coverage tees off at 7:30 on BBC Two. I think we'll all be watching that one. And Peter, you've gone from 2 gloves to 1. You're retiring, and I know golf's a big pastime of yours. So a bit more time to spend on the fairways.
A bit more time to spend on the practice ranges to start with. And
so when did you decide that decision, Peter?
I've been thinking about it for a few months, and the thing I didn't want to do, I didn't want to make a decision while I was injured. But being injured as I was at the beginning of this year, and coming back took a lot out of me. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to go through that again, and I think it's about time.
You had so many great memories here. Yeah. What was the highlight? There was lots of them.
Semi-final.
Well, I actually think the biggest night here, the biggest day here, was when we'd won the first Premiership title. Already when we played Blackburn here, we won it the day before on a different result. But the night, the day here was just.
About your whole career, Peter, what would you pick out a couple of moments?
Denmark, was it Denmark?
Well, winning the European Championship in '92 was just unbelievable, obviously. But the treble in '99 it's got to be the biggest one of them all.
But there might be another Schmeichel on the way. He's actually hiding behind the camera over there. He's a bit of Dad's talent, hasn't he?
He's very talented, yeah, and he's in a good setup at the academy at Manchester City, and he's doing really well. They won the league, and he's now in the playoffs, and so hopefully he'll do well.
We certainly wish you well with your retirement, and we'll hopefully see you a bit more in here, and certainly a lot more on the golf course. But back to today's game, of course, it's Arsenal 1, Sheffield United 0 in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and a great deal of controversy surrounding the goal as well.
Very much so. It'll be talked about for a long time. We seem to think that there was definitely a foul on Allison initially. He goes in the deck, and then Graham Poll plays on, and then the ball goes loose in the middle of the park, and basically Graham Poll runs into Michael
It's a shame
Toll.
in a way that Arsenal got the first goal here, because in a way we've seen it before. It might kill the game, because I don't think that Sheffield United has it in them to change their way of playing and go out and attack Arsenal and get a goal back.
I think quickly as the teams are coming out, it's worth having one more look at the foul and the incidents that led to this controversial moment.
He's getting kicked there. It's definitely a foul.
I think he's going down there really early.
I think he's losing his balance, but he still gets a kick, and that is a foul.
There's no doubt he got kicked though as well.
He got kicked in the end, so it's definitely a foul, but this is even worse.
That's really annoying.
I don't know what went on there. Why Graham Poll would come towards the ball?
Well, he clearly didn't mean it.
No, obviously didn't mean it.
Of course he didn't
but why
mean
would
it,
he come
he's
towards the ball?
supposed He's supposed to put himself in a position where he can see as much as possible, but not interfere with play. And he's interfering with a play that's a pass that's passed 15 yards.
Well, I think the debate will go on, but they're outside on the pitch there at Old Trafford, so too are Trevor Brooking and John Motson.
Well, yes, the debate will go on, Gary. It was a nice distraction seeing what happened in 1936 and the controversy with the cameraman. Nice try, Sydney. But it was 1-0 then, and it's 1-0 today to Arsenal. And a couple of scraps of information for you. There were words exchanged between Mr. Warnock and Mr. Poe when they went off, I gather, in the tunnel. Not sure what was said. Two other things. Lundberg's goal on his 150th start for Arsenal. And just a little reminder that Sheffield United felt aggrieved also in their Worthington semi-final at Liverpool, when the Liverpool goalkeeper Kirkland was apparently thought to have taken the ball out or touched the ball outside his penalty area, and the referee thought otherwise. That was, in fact, our fourth official today, Alan Wiley. Enough of that. Unlove. Challenged by Keogh. Cabba coming in. Curtis. No apparent change in the Sheffield United formation. It's still Cabba right and Unlove left. Allison down the centre. Campbell to clear. Tong. And again. And Cabba again. That's a corner. Ashley Cole.
Well, a good upbeat start by Sheffield United. Sure, they want to come and sort of put a bit of pressure on Arsenal and get that equaliser as early as possible.
Well, Page and Jagielka are coming forward. Oh, in fact, Jagielka's checked. Page has come forward with his arm up. And now Jagielka arrives. Headed out by Patrick Vieira as far as McCall. Edu. And it's pushed back in again by Kozluk. Now it's a free kick to Sheffield United. I wonder if they'll get a bit of the rub of the green in the second half, dare I suggest. Anyway, the cross is over Allison's head. It's hit Martin Keown. That's chest, though, despite the cry from behind the goal. Page. Oh, John Curtis just losing the place for a moment. You've heard the big debate at half-time, Trevor. As I said, we don't want to monopolise the conversation with this, but any final thought on that incident?
Well, the debate on the foul, but I still think once there was the collision, which did interfere with Michael Tong, and the fact that Allison was still down, I think Graham Poll could have blown for for him to get attention and stop the play, and then you'd have never had the embarrassment of them going up to score. I think there was justification to stop play.
There's a yellow card coming out here for Michael Brown for a foul on Patrick Vieira. Doesn't go down too well with the Sheffield contingent. It was in the centre circle. Vieira is still down injured, in fact. That's the third yellow card of the game. Meantime, there's a change of shirt for Freddie Lundberg.
They just caught him from behind. I noticed when the ball's played, if you look at the knee of Patrick Vieira, there was a sort of white strapping on the knee. Whether it was a cut or something, I don't know. Whether he just wanted a bit of support that he had at the start of the second half, whether he just fell awkwardly and he's got a slight problem with the knee. I'm sure Arsenal won't risk him. He's not feeling fully fit with the sort of Premiership game against Manchester United. And there's the obvious replacement if they want to bring on Gilberto to give him a bit of a break.
Well, that's a hard call for Wenger, isn't it? He wants Vieira to lead the side on Wednesday. The strapping on the knee tells its own story. He's been suffering for a few weeks, trying to play through the pain. Gary Lewin's made a signal as if to say, hold it for a minute, we'll see. And the anxiety on the face of the Arsenal coach is understandable. Brown was booked for the challenge. Sheffield United retreat as Arsenal restart the game on the edge of the centre circle, and it's Campbell. So at the moment they're down to 10, Arsenal, but the conversation with the physio is pretty brief. Vieira's back on.
Yeah, the actual knock, when he just come over here and they've got the magic spray was on the left knee, which he seemed to get the knock on that particular incident, but he's obviously got some sort of problem to have that support with the right one.
Wayne Allison looks for Unlove. Oh, and Love got the other side of Lauren. Or did he? Referee's given it the other way.
Said handball, John.
Handball. Handball against Love.
It was a nasty one for Laurent to deal with. It's bouncing up. The decision is handball. Yes, he did. He just touched it with his hand, and then as he followed through, yes, he might have been bundled over, but it was a handball, and so that time, well done, Graham Polk.
Yeah, referee absolutely spot on there. Sol Campbell driving it forward. They're appealing for offside. There is a flag.
I think it was Viltor rather than Jeffers when the ball was knocked.
We've just got a bit of feedback about Graham Poll's explanation, which I'll give you when we get a moment. Only just heard about it, actually. Here's Wiltord. Vieira. Offside, Jeffers. Yeah, apparently at half-time, Garth Crooks, our reporter in the tunnel, elicited from Graham Poll the opinion that he didn't think the Allison injury was serious enough to stop the game. That explains the first, explains his view of the first part of the incident.
I just think it might have given him an excuse, though, when he collided Michael Tongue, to say, let's bring on the physio to get some treatment. That would have been his justification for stopping the general play, that the player was still on the floor. Right,
well, I'll tell you something else in a minute, Trevor, when we get this free kick taken about semi-final controversy, because this is going to drag on, I feel. Anyway, Page, short to McCall. Trevor can't wait to hear what's coming next. The first semi-final I ever covered for the BBC, Trevor, was 1977, Liverpool-Everton across the city at Main Road. Do you remember that Brian Hamilton winning goal 3 minutes from time that Clive Thomas disallowed?
Oh, yes.
I can't remember an incident in a semi-final, there's probably loads of them actually, but at the moment, on the spur of the moment, that's caused more controversy than that.
Well, this one will carry on, as you say, unless Sheffield United manage to get 2 goals and end up winning.
Up goes Page. Dates us a bit, that, doesn't it? Allison.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, yeah. Here's, actually, that game in the end was replayed, and Liverpool won and lost in the final to Manchester United. Evertonians never forget it. McCall. Oh, it's Michael Brown with a shooting chance, perhaps. But instead he feeds it Love.
What a chance. That was great play by Michael Brown. He could have been greedy, could have seen glory. Look, first bit of space he's got, he just rides the challenge. Spreads it inside the fullback. Could have given the safety pass, he spread it inside the fullback. Perfect one for Unlovin. He tried to place it, but got underneath it, and it was almost a pass back. It just didn't trouble David Seaman at all. That was a, well, golden opportunity.
All season, Michael Brown's been firing shots in from that kind of distance. I thought for a minute there he was going to do the usual, but it was, as you say, a thoughtful pass to Unlove. This is Lauren. Business-like Sheffield United, aren't they? Tong. Page. Brown moves it on again. And Curtis picks it up from Cabot, who's made a run down the right. Big Allison in the centre. Chests it down to Cabot. Promise here for Sheffield United. He's got Unlove to his left. And Unlove lets it go again to Cabot. Arsenal are having to group back behind the ball. There are 8 of them, 9 of them back. And in the end, Vieira gets the touch.
But certainly Sheffield United fans getting behind their team. They know they've pushed them back. They have moved up as a unit. They've got the fullbacks forward a little bit more, getting numbers in the penalty area.
Page plays it forward. Keown. Yes, it's a bold start to the second half by the Nationwide League team. Lundberg for Arsenal, who've yet to hit top form or anything like it. Vieira. He still looks a little laboured after that previous treatment spell. And that's a foul by Page on Wiltord.
I'm sure sitting in the stand, Alex Ferguson be quite enjoying the competitiveness of the semi-final anyway.
Of course, his team played Arsenal in the last semi-final to have to be replayed in '99, didn't they? The wonderful Giggs goal. And Peter Schmeichel saving a penalty from Dennis Bergkamp. They don't replay semi-finals anymore, incidentally. It's 90 minutes extra time and penalties, if need be, today. And I've got a feeling if Vieira doesn't get moving better than this, that Gilberto Silva will be on. Now then, Lauren blocking off Unlöv. Warnock's right on the edge of the coaching perimeter as Wiltord goes through. Oh, and Kenny, I think he was tempted to use his hand. He would have been off if he had sensibly used his head in more ways than one.
It was a great interception by the goalkeeper because they were in there. Good ball by Vieira, and as you say, by coming out in anticipation, he nearly got caught out.
Curtis is away for Sheffield United. 3 to his left. This is Cabot. They're really giving Arsenal a game, there's no doubt about that. Free kick here. I'm sure there's going to be a change. They've got to get Gilberto on Arsenal. And Patrick Vieira has given the armband to David Seaman, and he's coming off. And a huge question mark now against the fitness of perhaps Vieira and Keane for Wednesday's monumental meeting at Highbury.
Well, he was carried. I saw him just turn around just now, and he just hopped. When you see a player turn and he just wants to take the weight off that injured leg, you've got to feel concerned. It's only a few days until Wednesday, so must be question marks. It's one he'd be desperate to play, and Arsenal desperately need him as well.
We've got 2 Brazilians in the middle of midfield here. Would have been unheard of in the FA Cup a few years ago. This is the challenge, incidentally, by Michael Brown. He was booked for it.
Well, he raked him down the back of the calf, and Michael Brown kind of looked as if he accused him of falling over, but that was a yellow card, wasn't it, when you see it from that angle?
Wiltord for Arsenal. Lacking Vieira's leadership now. So that's the first substitution of the match. Gilberto on, Vieira off, Jeffers for Arsenal. This is Gilberto, and he's found his compatriot, Edu. Parlour, Wiltord, Edu again, Jeffers makes a run. Oh, and a chance here for Wiltord! And Kenny down to make the save.
Well, that was the best move of the match. Quite magnificent. The 2 Brazilians linked up. Edu and Gilberto played a couple of 1-2s, and then Wiltord knocked it. Edu played it back to Wiltord. Just get tucked under his feet. He kept it low. Good save from Kenny.
There's been another tussle between Allison and Campbell at the other end. Graham Poll says carry on. It's simmering a bit, this semi-final. Page. This is McCall. Gilberto wants to take over. Oh, he did well. It was Jeffers who got wrestled out of it rather by Brown, and Brown then gets the same treatment from Parlour, and Gilberto takes over again. Jeffers down the centre, Lundberg on the right, wasted, and it's Curtis. And he gets it back again from Tom. Now then, the break for Arsenal starts with Lundberg, and he's got 2 up with him, and one of them is Wiltord here. Parlour is joining on the near side. Jeffers is in the centre. Lundberg again. It's a poor effort by the goal scorer. And Neil Warnock down on the line is preparing a double substitution. Carl Asaba out for 3.5 months with Achilles trouble. And young Nick Montgomery, 21, who recently got selected for Scotland under-21 squad. McCall is going off, the old man, you won't mind me calling him that in football terms. His place in FA Cup history is assured anyway. Montgomery comes on, a competitive midfield player. And
yeah, Wayne
Allison's gone off, so it's a centre forward for a centre forward, really. Asaba's been around the league, Brentford, Reading, Gillingham. He's a good, straightforward striker with a good goal output. This is in love. They really had to work hard, actually, to get Asaba fit for this, so let's see what he can produce. He's in there now, battling. It's come out to Brown. And it's just running out from Unlove.
Yeah, Sabra's a straight swap for Allison, and then Montgomery's come on, and he's going to sort of take over from Tong on the sort of right-hand side of that central midfield. Tongue is going to do the anchorman job, which McCall was doing. So Tongue, for me, at the moment, hasn't quite had the impact that I was hoping. I thought he did well in the 2 matches against Liverpool, but he hasn't really been on the ball enough today.
Well, I wouldn't think Arsenal have risen to any great heights so far either, but they lead 1-0. It's a free kick given against Brown. Challenge on Gilberto. Careless free kick that was by Edu. This is Tongue. Montgomery. Oh, good challenge by Ashley Cole. Jeffers is just holding the line in the middle. Wiltord's further over. So is the ball. Warnock's still got a striker on the bench. Pesca-Salido could be used. Arsenal with Bergkamp and Henry up their sleeve. Now then, Michael Tong. Volleyed away by Keogh. Gilberto. Parler. Wiltord. Campbell trying to get it through to Lundberg, but Sheffield United still closing Arsenal down. That's been the pattern. Jagielka. Really competitive performance, Trevor, by the Blades.
Well, it's just over the hour now. I think we all wondered whether they could sustain it. To keep working so hard. They have done all right. They've just made a couple of introductions to help with that, but they're still making it very difficult, Arsenal, for them to find the space that they normally enjoy. While it stays 1-0, they're still very much in this tie.
Lundberg and Tong tangling. It's all a bit tight on that touchline. Oh, there's an Arsenal player protesting to the assistant referee there, and Graham Poll it's Lundberg, I think. Graham Poll just saying, come away. In fact, it's come off his head. Cole will have to deal with it. Great roar goes up as Sheffield United attack. Page on his way forward for the long throw. No Allison in there now, of course. They've got to aim at Asaba, really. Or Page. And it's Carl Asaba. In they go. Oh, it was Michael Brown. And oh, he's scored so many from there this season.
Yeah, Martin Keown really giving a roasted to Gilberto, because he's the one who loses Michael Brown. Look, there's the header from Keown, and suddenly Brown's found that space, just stretching, and it came off the outside of his foot. But look, there's a header, goes back across the goal, and Gilberto is too far away from him.
Well, he's two-footed, Michael Brown, and that's why Warnock's holding his head, because he can hit them with his left, usually on target. a chance for Sheffield United and a warning for Arsenal.
Well, if there's one player probably they wanted that to drop to, it was Michael Brown, John. And he hasn't had many shooting opportunities, but his scoring record is so good this season. That was a good chance, very similar to the one that Love missed earlier.
Oh, it's tight. As semi-finals sometimes often tend to be. And look. And again, foul by Parlour. Well, if you were a Sheffield United supporter, you might sense a goal at the moment. They've got Arsenal pushed back. Asaba is causing a bit of havoc in there, and Page has gone up to help him. And it won't be long either before Jagielka gets in there. Brown to take. The only thing they'll be careful about, Trevor, is if they do get a little carried away with this attacking spell, Sheffield, then Arsenal are, of course, masters of the counter-punch.
Well, they are so effective. I think the encouragement for Sheffield United, because they are attacking the goal where their fans are behind, so if they can stay up their end, there's no greater encouragement.
Well, it's going to be a free kick to Sheffield United, and I think we're going to see a change for Arsenal. Thierry Henry for Francis Jeffers.
Well, perhaps Arsene Wenger also thought that they were getting pegged back a little bit too much, and of course the pace of Henry is a huge concern for Sheffield United. Jeffers and Viltord are reasonably quick, the movement's good, but no one compares with Henry.
A lot depends on Jagielka now, because they put him at centre-half for that reason, really, that he's got pace to match. Well, will he match Henry? We'll see. Anyway, it's a free kick at the other end. It's Page to take it, and Montgomery has just gone up onto the edge of the box. It's aimed towards Asaba. There are three Arsenal defenders there. Keown's header out is poor, but Parlour's interception wasn't. And now there's another Sheffield player on the ground. This time the challenge, I think, left Michael Tong challenged by Parlour, but the ball's out anyway. He's limping back into the action now. Pole, the referee, has checked to see if he's all right. He is, I think.
They got possession back again there because of the casualness of Gilberto. He's come on, he's not got into the game at all since replacing Vieira.
No, it's a bit muck and bullets in there now, isn't it? I don't know how the two Brazilians will react to that, but Henry, if he can get busy, is going to give Sheffield a completely different problem. Montgomery. Page gets one in the face there, and he's down. Now will he stop the game? Arsenal on the attack again, and the Sheffield United captain's out of, well, so he's okay now. It's they get attention. God, I thought it was going to be a repeat for a minute there, Trev.
No, that was it, just foot up, and it just Thornburgh caught him, and it's more at the head rather than the challenge with the foot there, but still it just weathered that little storm from Sheffield United. Henry coming on now does give them that little bit of a problem, but that in this last spell now they've got a gamble, haven't they? Just over 20 minutes, and they've certainly matched Arsenal very well. Encouragement, I'm sure, if and when they get into the playoffs, they want to get promotion, they want to play in the Premiership, and this has given them, I'm sure, a whet their appetite. They've done themselves well up to now. Can they get that extra glory in the last 20 minutes?
They've certainly done Division 1 proud, and suggested to me that when those playoffs come around, they could be the favourites. No disrespect to the other teams involved. And Thornburgh is now back where he should be, and Page has come off to go back on. It's all a bit of a circus down there at the moment. Martin Keown using his arms on Asaba, challenged by Edu. Well, that's a very short pass for Parla by Edu. Michael Brown has pushed right forward in this attack for Sheffield. This is Tong to Unlove. In comes Cabba, in comes Montgomery. They really are playing well. This is Kozlov. Now it's Tong. And he's rolling this across to Curtis. That would have been a fine way for John Curtis to open his Sheffield United account. He's only on loan until the end of the season from Blackburn Rovers, but he middled this.
Well, of course, he started here, Old Trafford, so he's used to the ground, and that wasn't far away. David Seaman didn't seem too perturbed, did he? Looks as if he was covering it, but it was close to the angle.
Campbell's having a right go at the two Brazilians, I'll tell you, in midfield. They have been a bit sloppy with their passing the last 5 minutes, Edu and Gilberto Silva. Uh-oh, that's a bad clash. It's heads, I think. Graham Pole straight across. Attention needed.
Well, Keown always got there first, and I think Asaba came in late. He's going to pick up a yellow card as a result of that. Look, it's going to be Keown's header. Does he make a challenge for the ball? Not really. It was clumsy. I'm not sure there was a lot of contact with the arm, but Graham Pole thought it was, and he's got the yellow card out.
So Asaba joins those on a yellow card. In fact, we've got Cole of Arsenal, and then McCall doesn't matter because he's gone off, but Brown and Asaba of Sheffield United are now walking the tightrope. Martin Keown in the wars again, nothing new there. Well, he knows, Neil Warnock, that his team have done him proud here, whatever happens in the next 20 minutes. And Arsenal, well, they've hardly got out their half for, what, 10 minutes? Thierry Henry appeals, it's a goal kick.
A little puff of the cheeks there, or has he whistled it to himself? Got the lead. Can't be totally comfortable, but he knows his defenders are competing well, and Keown's certainly been a reassuring figure again back in that side.
And of course, it's Arsenal without the inspiration of Tony Adams these days, when the fur starts to fly in there. Montgomery. Asaba waiting in the centre. It's come out to Kozluk. Arsenal really are being tested, but this is Viltord on the break. Outside him is Lundberg. Edu. Lundberg again. Thierry Henry in the centre. Page covering him.
Flag was up anyway for offside.
Asaba and Keown. Goal kick. Well, they still don't know which way this is going to go. Henry onwards. Montgomery. Curtis. Cabba. Montgomery put his head in, and it's going to be a free kick. I don't think that was an intentional...
Well, Ashley Cole did pull out of it as well, which is just as well, because we mentioned just now he's on a yellow
card. So. It's another free kick to Sheffield United. Robert Page forward again, just behind Asaba. Michael Brown just outside the box. Page comes in now. Well, I think it touched Campbell and Page. It's a goal kick.
Just as well, it was Campbell challenging with him. It just cleared Campbell, so Page did make the connection, but couldn't direct it towards goal. Page has done well. I'm sure he wants to go to the Millennium Stadium. He's played there with Wales. Just gets up early and just comes off the top of the head, though. Couldn't get over it.
A lot of experience in the... Well, he played a year in the Premiership with Watford, had a lot of games for them. Robert Plant, a lot of experience, as you say, for Wales as well. Parla. Henry. Jagielka's shirt tight on Henry. Now, breathing space for Arsenal. Free kick. Thierry Henry has come across to take it himself. Gilberto Silva is up in the penalty area. Edu's coming in as well. Oh, I thought for a moment there that one Brazilian might make a goal for another.
Well, he was the only option. Gilberto was the only other player in there. Edu did well. Decided not to go for goal, not back across. But it was only Gilberto there and it eluded him.
This is Tom. It's a semi-final that's more about courage than craftsmanship. I just wonder what impact Bergkamp would make if he came on. Lundberg. Campbell. Cole. Ray Parlour and the referee having words. The last card for Neil Warnock. Paul Pescasolido scored a last-minute winner against Ipswich in the 4th round. He'll be joining the fray very shortly. Arsenal have really steadied the ship a little bit in the last 5 minutes. Edu is going to take a free kick on the left-hand side. Nobody much is going up to support the strikers. Wiltord and Henry are the only two in there really, but Parler's coming now. Gilberto couldn't control it. Edu heads it back in. And Love. I think he's played well on the left for Sheffield United. The free kicks are going Arsenal's way now.
I thought it was unlucky there, was just his enthusiasm and aggression took it. I thought he got contact with the ball and just knocked Edu off it, and that's where Arsenal have lost it at the moment, that midfield area. They can't get control.
Asaba coming through here. Campbell wants Seaman to come and take this, and Asaba's been penalised. Use of the arm. Sheffield fans don't like it, but there's no great complaint from the players. Graham Poll signalled quite clearly here.
Well, he does well, Asaba. He matches Campbell. Campbell leans into him, as he often does. Look, they're leaning, but I think you can see Asaba's just got his forearm locked underneath him, and he's tugging Campbell. Look, you see, he's just got him in a lock. Yeah, come over here, and the Campbell then does eventually roll over. So I don't think the Sheffield United fans that end who are claiming for a penalty have got any claims.
Kick given again. Graham Poll is just looking across at the bench to see that Pescasolido, that's Kevin Blackwell with the paper in his hand, giving him the last instructions. Cabba is coming off. Well, he's been around a bit, Paul Pescasolido. I suppose he's tired of it being mentioned that he probably isn't, that he's the husband of Karen Brady. He's also quite a nippy striker with a decent goal record around 3 or 4 clubs. This is Lundberg.
They're still keeping the same shape, Joe. I thought he might just throw Pescasolido up with Asaba as a 2, but he's come over to this left-hand side and they just put Enlove over to the other side. So they've still got that same shape, the 5 across the midfield, the 2 wide men, Enlove on the right now, and Pescasolido on the left. But I just think perhaps with the minutes ticking away, 2 straight up might have been better. It's hard on Asaba.
Yeah, well, he's performing the same lone role that Allison was earlier. That's the way Sheffield United chose to play today. But I'm sure we're going to see A little bit of invention soon. Lauren. Asaba. Michael Brown. Unlove's in the centre, being joined by Montgomery. Still Brown. Montgomery's coming in far side with the header. Well, Ashley Cole, I think it was, got it away. He might have to do it again here. That was a chance again. But hold on, Page. Montgomery's causing some difficulties on the right-hand side, and Cole is all on to try and hold him. Lundberg has come back to help. Sheffield United is still in the semi-final. Of that there is no question. Asaba and Pesca-Solido waiting for the throw. Brown and Tong are just behind them. Cole working overtime. Lundberg having to defend. This is not what Arsenal expected. Page has gone forward now as well. Edu heads out. Montgomery. Unlove. Oh, look at that. Suddenly Thierry Henry opens up and Kenny comes to meet Will Todd. What about that little period there, Trevor?
Well, it's a good run, wasn't it? Michael Brown down the left-hand side. I thought he was going to play Pesca-Solido in. He didn't. He got to the byline, hangs it up beautifully. Nick Montgomery could have headed it back across in the air towards the far post. I think that was the one. He tried to get it in near post. And I think, although Ashley Cole blocked it, also David Seaman was there as well. And it's going to be Wiltord, I think, coming off for Bergkamp.
It certainly is. Sylvain Wiltord, who had a hand in the goal, leaving the field, and Dennis Bergkamp, who, well, he's remembered, I suppose, in semi-final terms for the penalty that I referred to earlier with our good friend in the studio. And he has appeared in the two finals the last 2 years, briefly in one, in fact, as a sub. He's on. So now we've got Henry and Bergkamp, the proper people, if you like, in Wenger's first choice selection up front. But it's further back where Arsenal need a few reinforcements at the moment. This is Parler. Gilberto Silva, Thierry Henry! Thierry Henry wide!
Well, that was golden opportunity. There was no need to flick it up and be fancy. It was a good break, Parler. Gilberto had a look, he saw Henry was there, just got to hit it first time. When he tries to flick it up and just hook it in, the defender was there on the line anyway, and that would have clinched it. But good ball, early ball by Gilberto. Look, I'm not sure he has to flick it up like that.
Pesca-Solido trying to find Unlove. Montgomery. Cole wasn't sure, Edu wasn't sure, Montgomery shoots wide.
Well, then it's ticking away. Montgomery had his chance in the header at the far post. Then there was the Brown volley and the Unlove shot at the near post straight at Seaman. There were three very good opportunities in the second half Sheffield United had. You don't often create three such good ones, and there'd be huge frustration, I think, with Neil Warnock and his team that they've not put one of those away.
Yes, it will be a great frustration because they've acquitted themselves admirably in this match. And now Martin Keown having to pursue Asaba. It's come off Keown, it's a corner. Page and Jagielka are on their way forward. Onto the line goes Pesca-Solido. Page is on the back post here. Oh, Sol Campbell feels he was pushed. Corner again.
It's a good challenge, those two, Campbell and Page.
Michael Tong has gone across to the far side to take it. So Brown this time joins those in the middle. Jagielka having a conversation with Asaba. Page again, and a chance to hook it in, and it's not gone in. How did it stay out? Asaba can't believe it. He can't believe it. What has Graham Poe given?
It's goal kick. He's given a goal kick, I think.
What a scramble. Well,
Seaman is the man here.
Asaba's volley, and then Pescasolido, and Seaman, what a magnificent save! Breathtaking! Pescasolido thought he'd equalised.
Well, there's been controversy as well, because Pescasolido then got his hand to that before it was missed. That's the miss kick by Asaba. I think he's offside there when he first heads it. The flag doesn't go up, and then you see, I think it's Jagielka comes in and hits it over the near post. But David Seaman, a magnificent save.
39 years old in his 1000th game. He keeps Arsenal ahead in the semi-final. Pescasolido holds his head, and Lundberg attacks for Arsenal to Bergkamp. Gilberto, Ray Parlour. That stung Arsenal, that. Parlour again. Bergkamp far side. Well, what a moment that would have been for Sheffield United. But what can you say about the veteran goalkeeper? A fabulous save. I had to look twice to make sure it hadn't crossed the line, but it certainly didn't. That's the moment they'll look back on if the score stays like this. Well, what agility for a man in his 40th year, and what a disappointment for a young striker who could have made headlines. Perhaps not so young these days, Pescasolido, but certainly younger than this fella by some years.
Asaba then shinned it. Got to be offside there, I thought. The flag didn't go up, he would have been allowed. And as I say, it's the miss kick. Then a little cushion header, because it was just behind him, and somehow Seaman got to it, but he scooped it out.
And there he was again, Pescasolido. Asaba takes a tumble with Campbell. Well, this is a rip-roaring last 10 minutes, and Thierry Henry is away. No, he's not. Jagielka. It's not a classic, but goodness me, it's kept us on the edge of our seats, and much of that is down to Sheffield United. Well, that's another point you've made there. Would the goal have been clouded in controversy had Seaman not saved it? Freddie Lundberg. Parlour. Bergkamp's made strides on this side of the pitch. He wants it now. This is Henry. Now Arsenal at the corner. Old Trafford. The first corner that Arsenal have had in the match. Does that tell you something? I reckon it does. Henry will take it. They're not hurrying. Only now can the Arsenal supporters think about celebration. He's played it short to Bergkamp. Here he is again. Lundberg. He's got Parlour behind him. Edu's on the edge of the area. There's a foul.
Yeah, I think it was Lundberg. He was trying to make a run, and he was just body checked. Michael Brown it was who picks him up now.
Well, they're not going to hasten themselves over this, are they? Bergkamp, in front of the Arsenal supporters, plays it short. Turned on. Oh, it's Lundberg's in here for number 2, is he? No. Well played, Kozluk. That would have settled it as well. Played in by Henry, Lundberg. Montgomery for Sheffield United. They're not finished yet. Curtis. Asaba. Cole to Edu. Henry. Looking around. Lundberg up against Page. Lundberg's in on the goalkeeper. Henry could be now. Lundberg again. Bergkamp.
Well, we've had more chances in the last 10 minutes than the previous 8. But it's just gripping. As you say, it's not been a classic from a technical point of view, but it's been a rousing cut time in the second half. Sheffield United had their chances, as have Arsenal in the last few minutes to tie up a second goal.
Well, it really has grown as a match, if you like. Parlour! And they've got three coming in from the other side, Arsenal. Henry is the first man there, but it's whizzing across the 18-yard area, and Sheffield United want to get the ball back up the other end. You can hardly hear yourself speak in this atmosphere. Asaba and Pesca Solido are waiting for service from Unlove. And he's on the ball now. Well, David Seaman, he'll be really delighted with that. It's a big save in a big match. And I think it's fair to say it kind of evens a few things up. Bergkamp's getting back to challenge. That also tells you something. Forward by Parler. Page with Henry. Bergkamp. Henry wants it down the centre. It needs to be a great ball. Nearly was. 3 minutes of stoppage time at Old Trafford in the semi-final of the FA Cup. And still Sheffield United won't let Arsenal rest. Free kick.
Kenny wants to go up. The goalkeeper's looking at Neil Warnock. Can I go up? Yes, he's going up.
Warnock will say yes. There's no.
There he goes.
There isn't even a debate. Goalkeeper's up. Peter Schmeichel will appreciate this. Last minute and all that. Well, what's going to happen this time? Page is there. Asava's there. Brown is just outside the area. Kenny makes a nuisance of himself. Martin Keown's lost it. Oh, Sol Campbell. Still they test them.
Kenny's still staying up.
And the goalkeeper's staying up. What happens if Arsenal get the ball away? They have now, he's got to get back. Go on, get on. Get a move on, Paddy Kenny. They're grip bite, aren't they? Sure, a lot of you at home are too. It's not one to take your eyes off this, even in stoppage time. On by Brown, no. Off Gilberto, then Page, then Edu. Warnock on the line, waving everybody forward. Page. And Love far side, Ashley Cole. Now Bergkamp, if he plays this right, could release Henry. There's nobody up with him, he's got to go alone unless Parler gets there.
Great tackle by Jagielka. No wonder he's playing that side. He stayed with him on a couple of occasions. That was a vital toe end, surely perhaps the last chance.
We're in the 93rd minute. Edu has won the ball and he's not going to get a free kick. Asaba wants it played forward. Cole. Bergkamp. That is a free kick. Well, is this going to be the last action? Lundberg to Cole. Arsenal are through to the FA Cup final for the third year running. Sheffield United take fulsome praise for testing them to the very last and pushing them all the way. The two managers showing mutual respect, and the two incidents that will be remembered. The controversy over the Thornburgh goal that won it, and that masterful piece of goalkeeping by David Seaman that kept it at 1-0. But Sheffield United from the Nationwide League take enormous credit. This was hard work for Arsenal, make no mistake about it. They held on to the Thornburgh goal, which was scored in the 34th minute. But what a bashing they took in the second half from Sheffield United. And Graham Poll is walking off again to some boos from the Sheffield supporters. Neil Warnock can only be proud. He's being just escorted down the tunnel, the referee. That'll still be the ongoing debate. I suppose Kevin Blackwell and Warnock, well, I thought their game plan really worked. Unlucky on the goal, and in the second half, well, there were chances for Sheffield United, of that there is no doubt. But the one that will be remembered, or the incident that will be remembered, was the one when Peshka Solido's header was somehow clawed out by 39-year-old David Seaman. Arsenal have equalled Manchester United's record of 16 FA Cup final appearances, or they will in Cardiff when they play there in May. The double-double is still on. It's Arsenal 1, Sheffield United 0.
So Arsenal go through to a third successive FA Cup final, but it'll be Sheffield United that earn many plaudits for a magnificently brave, heroic performance.
They deserve all the accolades you can give them. In the first half they played very well. In the second half they were exceptional. They had all the chances and they were denied by David Seaman, who will never have made a better save in his life. And what a time to do it. FA Cup semi-final on his 1,000th appearance.
Saving 1,000.
Well, unbelievable. How he got it, I'll never know. I mean, Pierre will tell us better, because
I don't know.
Oh no, you know how he got it. I mean, it's just astonishing save. It really was. At a time when Sheffield United were right in top.
You have to say that what we were talking about at half-time, that for Sheffield United to go and change their tactics, and they did exactly that. We didn't believe they could, but they did. And they took the game to Arsenal. They created 2 or 3 chances, and the last one, the header that Seaman saved, was. They deserved to get a goal. They deserved at least to have the chance of extra time. But
the chances were very good. I mean, it wasn't as though they were just put in the box and scrammed for it. They created one or two nice chances.
That would be the biggest chances ever missed. I mean, I think it's the best save I've ever seen.
Neil Warnock acknowledging the great save David Seaman made.
I mean, that's.
I bet you Sheffield United cannot believe how well they played. For 90 minutes, we said at half-time we thought they might get tired.
I bet the other thing they can't believe in hindsight is how they've not at least taken Arsenal into extra time.
Exactly.
I thought they deserved that. I thought overall, 90 minutes, Sheffield United were the more positive side. First half, it was a lot of physical work. They were trying to close Arsenal down. The second half, they really tried to play Arsenal, and they got their rewards in terms of chances, but they never got the ultimate reward with the goal. But
and the support was magnificent as well. The Sheffield United supporters, right from the word go, were so vocal, got right behind their team. Magnificent scenes.
Well, let's hear from the hero, David Seaman, with Garth Crooks.
Well, David, I've talked to you in low times. I'm entitled to talk to you in good times. Tell me about that save.
To be truthful, I thought it was in. I just flung my hand out and managed to get something on it and behind it. That was important to stop it travelling any further over the line. But I was pleased with that one.
Well, just look to your left there, and you'll see it on the monitor. It looked to me as though it was past you, and you had to claw it. There's a header back into the box.
There's another header, isn't there? Yeah.
Past Lido, and there it is.
So you're not bad for 39, is it?
It's excellent for 39. Did Sheffield's effort surprise you today?
No, not at all. We knew that they'd be like that. We didn't play as well as what we can do. Maybe we had a little eye on Wednesday, but we knew that we'd have a hard game against Sheffield, and they didn't surprise us.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
One of the all-time saves up there, maybe with Gordon Banks. We saw it, not quite perhaps the occasion of a
he will never ever in his life have made a better save than that.
Certainly worthy of a couple of more looks.
And it was just at the time that Sheffield United were getting on top. They made 1 or 2 nice chances. What I can't believe is not only did he get to it, but he got enough on it to actually clear it.
Yeah. These are one of the you're so very often in your career you get a touch on the ball and it ends up in the net anyway. This is just unbelievable how he gets behind. First of all, he's out of balance there, and he comes back, and you think, well, he touches it and it goes in, but he actually gets it out.
It was quite literally a fingertip save, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. He's got strong fingers. Yes. But look at his balance here. He's away.
Even quickly, how he gets back to it so quickly.
Yeah.
His reactions are sensational, but the fact that he's got enough on it to put it out.
This shows it even better. How he gets the ball out, it's He's got shovels on his hands there. Shovels, that's incredible, that. That is one of the best saves I've ever seen in my life. I'm so happy for him.
For a bloke who's made a few.
He's come back from injury. He's been criticised a bit, most of all for his age. He's playing his game number 1,000 today, and he crowns it with a save like that.
Okay,
he will remember this day for a long, long time.
He certainly will. A word from a proud man, Sheffield United manager Neil Warnock.
Yes, Neil, definitely a proud moment for you. Let's talk about the turning point in the match, the goal. Should the referee, Graham Poll, have stopped the match at that point when your player was on the pitch?
My pet subject, isn't it? Referees. I'm just disappointed in the whole, scenario with referees at the moment. I don't think I should say really what I want to say. I thought he was their best midfield player in the move, and I thought there was a foul before, and you give him one and you don't give him the other, and you heard him at the end there. He loved every minute of it. I don't know why they smile so much when they're coming off, at half time and full time. He's actually enjoyed that performance, and I thought it was so one-sided. It was untrue.
But for much of the game, you pinned Arsenal back in their own half. You must be very proud of the performance of your team today.
Well, I am. Unfortunately, you can't do it all, can you? You need a little bit of help from other people, and we haven't had it. In the semi-final of the Worthington Cup, we got the goalie should have been sent off. Alan Wiley was the fourth official today, and they love every minute of it. There's no justice whatsoever. My lads were brilliant today, and we would have worked hard without the help of the referee, and that's why I'm disappointed. I thought it was a great game. I wish they'd have scored 3 or 4 more goals, and then I couldn't complain. But to lose to a goal like that in the manner that we lost is an absolute disgrace.
Good luck, and good luck today, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you very much.
He's clearly very bitter, and I think we should see why. If it was in the first
You can
half.
understand why he's bitter.
I think he's got every right to
the
be.
referee's made 2 basic mistakes.
Yeah.
The first one was a foul by Saul Campbell and Allison. There's no doubt about it. I think he goes to ground easily, but Saul definitely comes in the back and kicks him.
Yeah,
But
you can't tackle from behind. That's the rules.
But I would say that the referee, there's no way the referee is going to stop the game if he deems that is not a foul and not serious enough an injury to stop it. This is probably the worst bit, where he sort of chases the ball, he collides with Michael Tong, and
He should
Arsenal
have danced out of the way there.
I still can't understand why he's in that position, coming towards the ball.
I think that's
In some ways.
that's where they're most disappointed with that tackle there. And if I was a player and it happened to me, I would be very, very angry at exactly that.
He should. In some ways, that's just one of those.
He should never have been there. But then,
of course,
it led to the goal.
Led to the goal, but I'll tell you something else. The Sheffield United player get all the accolades for the way they played, but the way they handled themselves after that, and as much as they didn't go chasing after people and kicking them, what they did was they concentrated on the football. And in the end, it nearly paid dividends, because in the second half they had 3-4 great chances, culminating in the fantastic Seaman save.
Well, they're going to go into the playoffs, and it's going to be difficult.
If they keep playing like that, then they'll get into the Premier
they've
League.
had
That was a
good cup
great
runs all
performance
season, and you go into the playoffs, it's like playing cups again. And I think if they've got a great chance of.
They'll look back in that match and think we couldn't have played better then, and we were desperate and unlucky.
And Arsenal another final for them.
And well, it's 3 in a row. They've got a big game coming up on Wednesday night, that's for sure. I don't think at this stage in the season they're playing well enough to go and win the championship.
Gents, thanks very much. Well, we thought that before the game the 2 teams would be poles apart, and in some ways they were. It's 3 finals in a row for lucky Arsenal. Goodbye.